Hey, Chad. So we continue our post-race media availabilities. We're joined now by the winning crew chief of the number 48 Superman Lowe Chevrolet.
How about that?
I like that.
That's cool, right?
Chad Knaus. Chad, that was another exciting finish. A tremendous win for your team. Tell us a little bit about those closing laps.
Oh, wow. Man, I'll tell you what, it was, gosh, try to recap how all this went down. It's kind of mind-numbing right now. You know, we obviously pitted with the second last pit stop. We short pitted everybody by a lap. And then the caution came out. Fortunately enough, Jimmie was able to get by the 4 car and stay on the lead lap. But we knew we were going to be in trouble having one full lap on our tires when everybody else was going to have stickers. And unfortunately, we fell back a little bit. I think maybe to 7th or 8th. And Jimmie did a good job. He really did for as aggressive as everybody was driving at that point. He managed his tires well and was able to get by a couple of other guys. And I think we were probably going to settle in about 5th or 6th. And when that caution came out, coming down pit road, you know, our picker guys, they knew what they needed to do. They knew they had to try to get us some spots if we were going to have any shot at getting the victory with the Superman Chevrolet, and they did. Had a fantastic pit stop. I think we gained 2 or 3 spots, put us in 3rd, and you know, honestly, I was telling Jimmie on that just before that restart. I was like, buddy, dig in deep and go find that cape, and he did. And on that restart, he did really well. He got up on the 4 car, and they pushed past the car on the outside. He was able to drive down to the inside and blow by the 4 car and make it happen. So I couldn't be prouder. You know, Jimmie obviously is just an amazing talent behind the wheel. And for him to do what he did today, I think that just speaks volumes about what that man's capable of.
We'll open up for questions now to Chad. If you'll please raise your hand, state your affiliation. We'll go here in this press box first and then go to the 2 other press boxes. Questions for Chad? Okay, we'll go Jerry Jordan first, and then we'll come back here. Kate?
Chad, going into the off week, I mean, this is when, how much do you guys need this as far as from, you know, to rebuild and to get set up for even more? I mean, this is pretty big for y'all.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's kind of an on-standing gag, right? You always want to try to win before an off week because the last 2 weeks. That's the best way you can ever set it up, because typically, as you guys know, as soon as we get back to the shop on Monday, we're focused on the upcoming event. So fortunately enough, it's a long trip. Everybody gets to kind of fly home, catch their breath, take a week to enjoy it. We make sure to emphasize with our guys that they do celebrate the victories and go out there and enjoy it, whether that be going out and partying at a club or whether that be going to get an ice cream with the kids. Whatever that is, you know, whatever your way of celebrating is, we want to make sure they do that. And it's going to give the guys plenty of opportunity to do that before we head to Martinsville. So I'm glad about it.
We're going to go to Kate, and then we'll go to the Terrace press box.
Hey, Presto Cars in Competition. Did Jimmie find any particular line that worked for him toward the end?
You know, it was funny. We were, obviously, you guys saw it as well as what we did. People were all over the racetrack, and I think that speaks volumes about this racetrack. Everybody loves this track. The only thing we don't like is the back straightaway is a little too bumpy, but the rest of the track is awesome. They run high, they run low, they do everything. And through the middle portion of the race, Jimmie was doing a very good job of managing that half to 3/4 range and really saving his tires and managing the tires well. And I think if you guys look back at it, you see we really came on strong at the end of the runs, and he was doing a good job of that. For that last green-white checker finish, obviously he just drove it straight down to the bottom and was able to rail around the bottom and get past the 4 car. So this is an awesome racetrack from that standpoint. This is what you want when you're a race team and a race car driver. You want to be able to go out there and slip and slide and drive, and that's what these guys had to do today. Mm-hmm.
We'll go to the Terrace press box now.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. Jimmie's obviously continues to move up the ladder in career wins. Can he catch Gordon? He needs 16 more. How many do you guys have in you?
Man, let's just worry about the next one. How's that? If you start shooting goals like that, you can't do it. You know, the thing that you have to do, from my standpoint, is we have to worry about going to Martinsville and trying to win that race. First, we have to worry about practicing well and qualifying well, and then winning that race, and then we have to do the same thing going to Texas, and then so on and so forth throughout the rest of the season. I don't put the cart before the horse. You guys know that. So we focus forward, and that's all we're worried about.
Any additional questions in the Terrace press box?
Questions? No further questions.
Thank you. Any additional questions downstairs here? We'll go right over here, please.
This is kind of like the
Here's a microphone right here for you.
The opening of the season is now over. You're now going to get into the bulk of the summer. What's the one thing you guys need to focus on to continue towards the summer where we get into the hot months?
Yeah, that's obviously been the Achilles heel of the 48 car going through the summer months. When the years where it's great, it's fantastic. Where years where it's bad, it's just, oh my gosh, you want to slit your wrists. So we're really, this year, we're not going to worry about the summer months as much as what we need to, obviously, especially now since we've been able to capture the second victory, which, you know, essentially locks us into the chase. What we're going to do is we're going to focus forward, put our efforts into going into Chicago, New Hampshire, those first few races of the chase. That's our main focus at this point. So we want to perform well and win as many races as we possibly can, and this obviously provides an opportunity for us to go out there and be aggressive and do things maybe that might be a bit uncharacteristic or unnormal. Is that a word? Unnormal? Atypical. Atypical. Okay, great. Thanks. To do that kind of stuff, to try to make things happen. But right now, we're going to just try to solidify what it is that we need rolling into the chase.
Okay, we'll go to Kenny right here, please.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. A couple of things. First of all, was it a difficult race to call with everything that happened, the way cautions were falling and the tire wear that people were concerned about? And also, we keep hearing, you know, teams are trying to gain back the downforce that was taken away.
Sure.
How far along do you feel like you guys are at getting that back?
I don't feel that we're running as strong as what we need. I think we're okay, for sure, obviously. But I think that from my standpoint, we should be doing a little bit better. And look, let's be honest. When you lose, or our job as teams is to build the best race car we possibly can. We want to build the most downforce, we want to build the most mechanical grip, and we want to build the most horsepower. He who does that wins. Period. That's how it works, right? So we have to try to do that on all levels. We need more horsepower, we need more downforce, we need more mechanical grip. And we're going to do that to the best of our ability 100%, you know, because once you do that, then you have all the other aspects of the race team that you have to work on. Pit crew, pit stops, so on and so forth. So we're not where we want to be from my standpoint. We've got a good product, but I'm hoping by the come chase time, we're going to be better.
What about calling?
Calling the race, honestly, this race is, the way this race went by was, and don't take this lightly, but a fairly easy race to call because of the stint was so long in between cautions that you knew you had to take 4 tires. If you didn't take 4 tires, you're going to be in trouble. Where it gets hairy is when you do a couple of runs and, you know, you get towards the end of the race and there's 25 cars on the lead lap because of the wave around, and you get some guys in the back maybe want to stay out. That's where it gets hairy. Here this weekend, for this event today, it was not that difficult to call. The only thing that you had to be cognizant of was, you know, what you were doing with your left side tire pressures, your right rear tire pressures, and as a team you had to pay attention to that to make sure you didn't have a failure.
Okay, any additional questions for Chad?
Thanks,
you very
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Happy Easter. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with it. I've got it on. Thankfully, I'm not in tights and a Speedo. But.
Our post-race media availabilities. We're joined now by the winner of the 20th Annual Auto Club 400, Superman. Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Superman Lowe's Chevrolet. Jimmie, this is your 6th victory and 16th top 10 finish in 22 races here at Auto Club Speedway. A very exciting finish today. Tell us about the closing laps.
Yeah, just a fun race. I mean, I love the rules package and how the car drives, and then when we come to a track like we have here in an old surface, it is so much fun to drive the race car, and so much that the driver can control, setting up passes, looking for lines, really just a ton of fun. Started 19th and worked our way forward quickly. And I really felt like midpoint of the race on, we were one of the top 2 or 3 cars, and the longer the run went, the better we were. And let's see, 2 stops from the end, we pitted, the caution came out shortly after, and I really felt like I could hold on and race for the lead, if not maybe move back to 2nd or 3rd. And I dropped like a rock and was pretty bummed out at that point and wasn't sure how the finish would go. And then Kyle had more unfortunate luck here with the tire, and it set up that final caution and pit stop, and I don't know where I came in the pits, but I know I came out way further forward than I did going in. My guys just crushed the pit stop, and a great restart. Great driving car. We weren't the best on the short run in all the previous restarts, but that restart, those 2 laps, whatever Chad did with tire pressures and adjustments on that last stop, the car was incredible. And I got a great launch off the bottom of turn 2 and was next to the 4 down the back. And then I was just praying that I would hear clear as I turned into turn 3, and eventually I did. And at that point, I felt pretty good about bringing it home with just 1 more lap to go.
Excellent. We'll open up to questions now. If you please raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start here in this press box. We'll go to the terrace press box.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. I guess we'll jump right in with this. I was going to ask you how far you can go up the career wins list. You're 16 shy of Gordon now. You could get pretty far up there if you race a few more years and keep up the same pace you've been doing. Now that you've passed Dale Sr., will you look at that at all? How many more do you have in you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple lists in there that are pretty big. If I can keep winning like this and how long I can do it. I feel like physically and mentally I'm the best that I've ever been in my career. And I'm in a great space and really enjoying going to the race shop, going to the racetrack, working with my team. So I'm in the space I want to be in, which tells me, makes me want to stick around and do this for a lot of years. There's no guarantees about when you're going to win and have success. So I've been very, very fortunate to win 77 of these things, which blows my mind in its own. And it's easy to look at trends and say, we win X a year, but at some point that stops. It stops for everybody. And I don't know when that point is for me. I certainly hope it's not soon. I would love to get to Jeff. I'd love to just keep on going and win, but you never know. So, it's important to me to handle this with class, with respect and honor for what I've done and the fact that I tied Dale with the win in Atlanta and where we are now. I know there's some more legends just ahead of me in the sport, and I look forward to getting a chance to get up there and honor them as well and join them with the amount of wins.
Okay, we'll now go to the Sky press box for questions, please, for our race winner.
No more questions in Sky Press.
Any more questions in the terrace press before we come back here?
No further questions.
Okay, we'll go here to Kate, please.
There we go. At what point, okay, you said you had a hard time, you struggled. Do you feel that the Superman concept was helpful to the whole team? They were celebrating so much, and they really put so much into this race, especially in the last half.
Yeah, it's fun to have a paint out like this on the race car. We had the Madagascar 3 movie and one with it, and had these goofy wigs that we wore. When everybody's waiting for the chance to pull out a cape if we won here. So all the wins are special, but when you have props in a cause like this, it takes it to the next level. And truthfully, the experience with Warner Brothers has been incredible. Junior and I just had a little fun through social and kind of built some hype around things coming into this weekend. And one thing I have to point out too is it was a fun program and certainly cool to sit here wearing the Superman cape, but Lowe's and their willingness to let this opportunity happen is something to speak of, and the relationship we have with them and how great they've been over all the years.
We'll go up front, then we'll go to Jerry, and then to Kenny.
Hi there, Jason Residlo with AmericaJR.com. Now, I know that you're from El Cajon, so how special is this win?
It's very, very special. Many friends that I didn't expect to see here this weekend, didn't even know they were coming to the race, I ran into. Others, we planned. It's my one time a year to really kind of see them and hang out. I even ran into a cousin that I didn't know was going to be here until last night. She sent me a text, and fortunately, as I was going out to driver intros, I ran into her and saw her on the way out. So it's great to be close to home. And the West Coast has such a different vibe, and I've been in the grind on the East Coast for a lot of years, and there's just nothing like coming back to SoCal and chilling out.
We'll go to Jerry, and then Kenny.
Jerry Jordan, Performance Racing Network and Kicking the Tires. Earlier in the week you said you were going to kick Batman's butt. Do you feel like Superman right now with that dive out into your team out in Victory Lane?
Yeah, the dive was fun. I'm glad I backed it up. I talked a lot of trash this weekend, so I'm glad I backed it up. And more than anything, I just wanted to beat the 88 so that I had bragging rights over Junior all week. And then, we won the race. So I think I've got the upper hand on him for a little bit, but I don't expect it to last long. I feel like the relationship we have with Warner Brothers and other opportunities that might come along will be another rivalry coming our way, and Junior's not going to lay down. Well, yeah, we're off, which is great. I'm in vacation mode already.
We'll go to Kenny now, please.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Jimmie, when you line up for a short run like that, how much does the guy that's beside you or in front of you or whatever that you're racing, how much do you think about, okay, this is Harvick, I'm expecting him to do this, or if it's somebody else you're expecting him to do that, or do you just focus on this is what I'm going to do and I'm not worried about what they may or may not do?
No, you really have to pay attention to who you're around and know their habits and their traits. And there was an earlier restart, I guess the one before, and I made a decision on which lane I chose by who was third and fourth and how aggressive they are on restarts. Kevin and I had a restart earlier in the day, and I was able to get to his bumper and give him a shot. And I feel like that gave us the opportunity we had on that final restart. I didn't expect to get inside of him and really have a shot at racing for the win. My whole goal lining up was to clear the 22. And I know that he's fast, he's good, he knows how to do these restarts, he's very aggressive for a couple laps. So my biggest concern was just clearing the 22 and not losing speed down the backstretch. I was afraid if I didn't clear the 22, that outside lane would come and I would roll into turn 3 and 5th and then have a really frustrating finish. So when I heard clear the 22, my spirits picked up. I'm like, all right, cool, we're in good shape. And then I jumped in the gas and drove up next to the 4, and I thought, well, damn, we have a shot to win this. So there was 2 moments between the green flag and about halfway down the back where I went from optimistic to jumping up and down inside the car and really happy about my situation.
We'll go right up front here.
Hey, Jimmie. My name's Paul T. Gluster. I'm with Racing Information Services, and my background's aerodynamics. Can you tell me how this year's change in aerodynamics reduction has you driving differently than last year in the pack and all out?
Yeah, with a smaller rear spoiler on the car, it allows the air to change directions and get back down to the ground sooner. And that's allowing us to get closer to the car in front of us. There's less turbulent air in the big packs when there's 10, 15 cars in front of you. The air kicks off the spoiler, and before with that massive spoiler, it just kept throwing it higher and higher. And now the air gets kicked up but comes back down quicker, and it allows us to run closer to one another. And then when you take the downforce off the car, it's not stuck as well and as deep in the track. And the car has a lot of movement and sliding. And for me, with my background, I love that. I grew up racing on the dirt, and I love to slide around.
Do you know Patrick Salloway?
Name sounds familiar.
Excellent. Jimmie, congratulations on the win. Thank
Sweet.
you.
Thank you.